The start of the Big 12 tournament is almost here, so time to break it down. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Going to Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I do videos every single day. If you're wondering what's going on behind me, well, I hit my 1,000 subscriber mark, so I'm doing the balloons this entire week. After that, though, we're moving on. This week, it's all about conference basketball tournament. I've already talked about the ACC basketball tournament. Now it's time to talk about the Big 12 basketball tournament. This one is a lot more crazier than the ACC. Most of this league is actually in the big dance already. They're just jockeying for position and seeding, and you never know, the bottom feeders who don't have a chance could pull off the unimaginable and win the whole thing and steal a bubble from another team. Could happen. First, we'll talk about the first round. The 8 seed TCU will play the 9 seed Kansas State. The winner of that will play the 1 seed Baylor. Now, above that bracket is the 4 seed West Virginia playing the 5 seed Oklahoma State. The winner of that will play the winner of Baylor and whoever won that other game. Bottom bracket, 7 seed Oklahoma against 10 seed Iowa State. Winner of that plays the 2 seed Kansas. Below that, we have the 3 seed Texas versus the 6 seed Texas Tech. The winner of that will play the winner of Kansas and whoever won between Oklahoma and Iowa State. These tournament brackets get ridiculous. They don't look normal, but that's how they're set up. If you go back and watch the ACC, its bracket is totally different from the Big 12 because of how many members each conference have. Now let's run through it real quick. So really, the bottom 3. The 10 seed Iowa State, they're 2-21. The only way they make it into the big dance is they have to win the Big 12 tournament. The 9 seed Kansas State, they're 8-19. The only way they get into the big dance is winning the Big 12 tournament. And then the 8 seed TCU, they're 12-13, and the only way they make it into the big dance is by winning the Big 12 championship. Those are the 3 teams that are not going to make it. The rest of the teams are in the big dance. So they're just going for position and seeding. So let's look at the 7 seed. Oklahoma, they're 14-9. Right now, I have them as a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, Oklahoma is in the first round. They get no byes. They're going to take on Iowa State. And Iowa State is tougher than that 2-21. They've come close to upsetting people. Maybe they're saving it for the Big 12 tournament. You never know. But this is not a make or break for Oklahoma. They're in no matter what. But 6 seed is not that great of a seed to have in the big dance. They need to improve that. Moving on to the 6 seed in the Big 12 tournament. Texas Tech, they're 17-9. And right now, I have Texas Tech as a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. Texas Tech is more about defense. If they could figure that shooting out, they could be a really, really dangerous team. But usually, if you can score 80 on Texas Tech, you're probably going to win the game. You need to figure out that offense if they're going to get anywhere past the second round in the big dance. Then the 5 seed. This team is hot. Oklahoma State. They are 18-7, and I have them as a 3 seed. Not too long ago, Oklahoma State was on the bubble. They are on a hot streak, and they just beat West Virginia. Now, West Virginia did beat Oklahoma State at the beginning of the season, but this is going to be the rubber match. They're going to play West Virginia. The 4 and the 5 seed will play each other. Seeding will be at stake. And the winner of that game will have a chance to win the Big 12 tournament. That's going to be a tough game, though. And of course, that brings me to the 4 seed, West Virginia. They're 18-8, and I also have them as a 3 seed in the big dance. The game against Oklahoma State this past week hurt them. That was a loss. They were kind of drifting towards the 2 seed, but that kind of knocked them back down. So West Virginia could still get a 2 seed, but they need to have a very good performance in the Big 12 tournament. I'm talking get to the Big 12 championship. If you don't get to the Big 12 championship, you're going to be at a 3 seed. And if you get knocked out by Oklahoma State, you could go down to a 4 seed. You need to win the game against Oklahoma State. Big game in the Big 12 tournament between 4 seed West Virginia and 5 seed Oklahoma State. Now we're getting to the 3 seed Texas. They're 17-7, and I actually have them a lower seed than Oklahoma State and West Virginia. I have them as a 4 seed. It's just how the rankings worked out. But overall, I think Texas is a little bit of a lower seed than West Virginia and Oklahoma State. So Texas has something to prove in the Big 12 tournament, and they could raise their seeding to a 3 seed. I don't think it's possible for them to get up to a 2 seed, but they definitely could rise to a 3 seed. We'll see what happens. They'll have to play the 6 seed Texas Tech, and that is a tough 6 seed. And now the 2 seed, Kansas, 19-8. At one point, they were struggling, and I had Kansas as a 6 seed, but now I have them as a 3 seed. Barely not a 2 seed, but they're close. That's why the Big 12 tournament is important for Kansas. They can get on that 2 seed line. They do get the bye, and they'll get the winner of Oklahoma and Iowa State. So this sets up nicely for Kansas. I think if Kansas runs the table and gets to the Big 12 championship, they definitely have a shot to get a 2 seed. If they win the Big 12 championship, I think it's a lock. I think Kansas is a 2 seed if they win the Big 12 championship. Then, of course, the 1 seed, Baylor. 21-1. Baylor is locked as a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. It doesn't matter if they go out in the first game against the winner of TCU and Kansas State. It doesn't matter. Yes, that would be a terrible loss, but Baylor is a lock for a 1 seed. And I'm not saying their coach would do this, but it wouldn't totally shock me if Baylor kind of played it easy in that first game because they know they're a lock for that 1 seed. But they've already won the regular season. Maybe they really, really want the Big 12 tournament title as well. I think that's more the direction that Baylor's going to take. But what I was saying is, it just wouldn't surprise me. So that's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.